On this beautiful day of Jum'ah is we continue our broadcast this morning. Now, many of us will recall what had taken place in Mozambique as a result of the elections and the turmoil and the problems that the country had actually undergone right across many parts of Mozambique. And people were obviously not happy with the outcome. But what we've learned recently, and this is quite a serious matter, where we're hearing about Zimbabwe recruiting people to vote in the Mozambican elections, and these rumors started surfacing in 2024 that Zimbabwe's ZANU PF was recruiting Zimbabweans to vote in the elections. And apparently, they supplied the voters with fraudulent Mozambican voter identity cards to help Frelimo win this elections. Now, to unpack all of this, we are joined out of Mozambique this morning by Maulana Mussagy Rahman in Maputo. He's also a member of the Mozambican Islamic Council. Maulana Mussagy, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome and jazakallah for your time.
Walaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Yes, Maulana,
How are
considering
you?
what, Alhamdulillah, doing well, doing exceptionally well, and wonderful that you're able to join us. But Maulana, just looking at Mozambique, and we know what had happened as a result of the outcome of the elections. And, the country was in serious turmoil over quite a period of time. Now we are starting to learn about Zimbabwe, ZANU PF, their involvement in election rigging. What do you make, or what do you know about this, Molana?
Oh, alhamdulillah. First of all, alhamdulillah, we now are at peace, relatively. No, alhamdulillah, that situation, the problems we had, we already overcome, and the government is moving, and the opposition party is also operating with initiatives here in Mozambique, political initiatives. The opposition party, the ones who lost, and the ones who are leading now, there alhamdulillah getting to sit down, and discuss. Alhamdulillah, this is very very good for us, alhamdulillah. But now, as far as these informations, we also were caught with these informations, but this is not, I mean, the first time we hear informations like that, because after elections there are organizations who begin to study what happened in the elections. I've been part of this electoral observatory organizations, and in every election, after election, there are things which come out, and allegations sometimes by other parties, and we know elections are contagious. How can I say? Okay, there are people against a group against another one. So they'll be working on this thing. Some in favor of the party, some against the other party. Now we started seeing this information on social media, on some uh, news platforms regarding these things in Zimbabwe. But it's very difficult for me to have an opinion to saying, because information must be clarified, must be taken to the institutions. They are the ones who have to decide whether this was true or not. What we do is that the procedure in Mozambique for elections, I've been, for example, myself, I went to vote. I had my card, and I live nearby where I vote here in Maputo, in a school. I went to register first. I had to register maybe some months before, let's say months before, a year before. I had to register first. I had my card. Then I had to go to that particular school. In that school, I had a specific room where my name was located. Now, me, my wife, my daughter, we had to first identify the school, identify the classroom in a specific school where I could vote, and my name had to be in a list. Before voting, they would check my name, they would check on the list in that particular school, and then I would vote. Now, if for based on this information and based on information I have, how the procedure is established to vote and how to use the card, I find it difficult at this time. With this, when someone comes, say, I'm in Zimbabwe, I'm a Zimbabwean, I voted. Now I have questions. I have a lot of questions, and I cannot get answers because even for us, is it takes long for just to identify your name in one classroom. It takes long, and without identifying my name, I wouldn't vote. It's very difficult. You get people fighting because they're supposed to vote and their name's supposed to be in the system, in the computer. It's not finding the name. They're having a problems. They fight, and there's a big confusion on that day. Now, for a person saying, I'm from Zimbabwe, I have this card, and I have voted in Mozambique, I will take it to Mozambique to vote. Now, there's a lot of questions which must be answered to be sure, for me to say, okay, that's plausible that this thing happened in Mozambique. So it's very difficult at this point for me to just buy into that allegations. We know politics. And people do, and we at a time of social media, a time of, I take a picture here, I can say I'm a South African, this is an electoral vote card, and and I voted in, I'm a South African and I voted in Mozambique, for example. Now, just a photo, and I mean, it's very difficult for me to confirm that this really happened, that these people really voted. Did they get to access to that room and really voted? I mean, this all information. That's why I believe, on when this Islam says fatabayyanu, fatabayyanu. So you can't just buy into any information at first without going through the process and to clarify. When that issue is clarified, it should be taken then into consideration. There are, for example, I used to work in this organization. I was part of it. We called the Observatory Electoral, Electoral Observatory. Now, after elections, we sit down and understand. We even produce reports of things that went good, well, things that went bad, that have to be taken into consideration, maybe in reforming the election, the system, the law of this, which regulates elections, maybe to increase public education, sensibilization. Maybe you
Maulana,
see this report.
sorry,
Yeah,
can I just stop you there for a minute, please? Because
yeah.
I'm actually looking at my screen right now, and one of the listeners says, "Don't say citizens. It's the Zim government." Now, clearly at this point in time, these are allegations, and as you correctly pointed out, it's raising more questions than answers at this point in time, and no one has got the answers. But the key issue here is. If the Zim government is involved, this is quite a serious matter because it's coming
Yes.
from the very top of a neighboring government. But also at the same time, what sort of discussions are taking place in Mozambique? Is this information now out in the open? How far widespread is this information? And is it becoming a major talking point right now?
At this point, I believe at this point it's still in the social media and the public discussion among social media. It hasn't taken the platform as far as I'm concerned. Maybe something has passed me. I'm not a full time, into following this political developments. I'm not full time into it. So maybe some developments may have missed me. But at this point, as far as I can see, it's been discussed in the social medias, still at this level. Although when we say it's already at the social media, we can't underestimate the magnitude of it because social media is widespread. It's becoming like the main media. You see, so yeah, the discussion is there in the social media. People are discussing about it now. I haven't seen a platform reflecting and discussing Maybe they are already working at this, because in Mozambique there is a procedure now, people discussing officially on on re-evaluating the system. There was this agreement from these parties on studying and going into creating a new reforms into all this electoral system. Now parties are busy into this. Now I haven't seen yet a big movement regarding this issue officially. But as you're saying, the allegations is about government being part of this, and I believe this is not new. Also, this kind of allegation, we've seen that in the United States, and we've seen that always Russia interfering in, and the saying allegations Russia is interfering in the United States elections. These things are not new, and concerning Zimbabwe, we understand that they are in their own struggles, their political struggles in Zimbabwe, as far as the parties and contending for government in Zimbabwe. Now, uh, there are politicians also there. There are oppositions. They have their own fights there. This may be one. It may be one. How can I say, a dish in that table, of political issues. It may be also, but it may be true. Now, all these have to be considered, and if it's proven to be the case, it's bad. It's very bad, because we should have the institutions must have credibility now, and that will destroys. Although we had this problems in the elections of where the institution lost credibility amongst the public, and so this may add into it and may become a problem. But we are at a process now where we should concentrate is reforms. We are at the process where we can reform the systems. We can see and take into consideration all these problems which are coming into information now, into public knowledge, so that, and we consider them while doing these reforms in the electoral process.
Yes, and also I think just finally, you mentioned that a lot of it is on social media at this point in time. Now, this is quite a major issue, and I'm quite surprised that the mainstream media has not given, prominence in covering this story. Whether it's true or not is a different matter altogether. But surely one would have expected a mainstream media to at the very least provide some coverage of these latest revelations or allegations.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you, and really, that's why I say maybe something has have missed me. I'm not full time into these political developments, following full time at it, and these times we are almost we are busy with our own Islamic issues now. Is Dhul Hijjah, Hajj programs, and we're into all these things, and we are going into Eid, and we are busy with this stuff. We're preparing qurbanis, and now maybe some information have missed me and in the main media, but I haven't seen. What I'm saying is, as I stand as Maulana Mussagy, I haven't seen a big issue on this. What I have seen is that the government and the parties are busy in discussing the reforms, and I have seen this in the social media. In the social media. Now, maybe I have missed something, maybe, but I don't think so. It has taken this, as I went yesterday when I saw an invitation, because they've tried to contact me yesterday on these issues. I've tried to go and see the topic itself, whether you see it was something of big importance. Yeah, maybe it's coming there. I've seen in DW. I've seen it many other platforms of news. I've seen there, and I haven't seen it taken a very very prominent or important platform as far as government opposition of government and parties. But I've seen people talking about it and on social media. Now, maybe something have missed me. I don't. I don't
Well,
know.
Molana,
Uh,
that's fine. I mean, look,
mm,
it is understandable as well. But obviously, we will follow up developments to see what is obviously going to materialize or come out of these allegations as well. So we definitely will follow the story. But for now, we thank you, Molana. All the best. Have yourself a great Juma as well. And inshallah, at some point in time, we'll touch base again. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Walaikum salam. Inshallah. I'll also try to follow up more on this issue, and if anything, maybe I'll I'll SMS you. I'll send you a WhatsApp information if really there's something develops here. Inshallah.
Inshallah, no problem. Jazakallah for that once again. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Molana Mussagy Rimani joining us out of Maputo this morning. We're going to go for a quick ad break, and we've still got Juma inspirations coming through this morning.